Pope Benedict, in one of his documents, said that we were created for greatness, that we were created for God himself, to be filled by God, but that our heart is too small for the greatness to which it is destined. And therefore, the heart must be stretched so that that way it can receive the gifts that God wants to give to us. I kept thinking about the question, but how do we measure greatness? Well, my friends, the secret to greatness is not measured by how much we gain, but by how much we give, right? This is the secret, that if you and I truly want to be great, then we have to be shining examples of holiness. We have to be shining examples of humility in today's world, right? We can't be ashamed of our faith. We can't be embarrassed to live it out, right? The power of the gospel is what gives us our greatness. And so we must confidently live that out. And that's the challenge for you and me today. So if we look at our readings, they're shouting at us about what it is to measure greatness, right? The first reading says, "Conduct your affairs with humility, and you'll be loved more than the giver of gifts. Humble yourself the more, the greater you are, and you will find favor with God." And in the gospel, right, Jesus tells us this parable about this wedding banquet and helps us to understand that those who humble themselves will be exalted. But my friends, I think a lot of times we don't understand what humility is. Humility is an honest assessment of who we are, right? It's a matter of what we do and the gifts that we've been given by God and how we use them. And so the result of that assessment is the ability to see ourselves as God sees us, right? He sees the whole person. He made us in his image and likeness, so he knows how awesome we are, but he also knows our failings, and so he knows how pathetic we are. But in that, he chooses us as his beloved sons and daughters, right? So humility is a matter of seeing ourselves as God sees us, right? We see our greatness, we see our failures, but we know that we still belong to God, that we are his beloved sons and daughters. And so humility consists in keeping ourselves within our own bounds. We're meant to be aware and thankful for these gifts. We're meant to pour ourselves out as a gift to other people. Right? So often in our lives that instead of using our gifts to encourage and to build up the people around us, we waste all our time and we waste all our energy being jealous and envious of everybody else's gifts. And so God is asking us to be true to the graces that he pours into our souls. He's asking us to be true to the gifts that he has given us for the encouragement of others. And I think it has to do a lot with the fact that authentic humility reveals God, right? Because God humbled himself to become one of us, right? He took a low position in order to pour himself out on the cross. So the spiritual challenge that I want to pose to you is a really, really hard one. Online, there's a prayer called the Litany of Humility. It's a way to ask the Lord to help you grow in humility. And it's going to be challenging, but in many ways, it'll act as an examination of conscience to say, how am I doing? How am I living humility? Am I striving for the greatness to which God is calling me to?